now. This here and this here are the pieces you see me drilling and tapping on the lathe. This will be for my depth screw to adjust the depth that the grinding wheel is going to cut. This here one is tapped through the side and through the bottom. The hole through the bottom will mount to the frame here on a slotted hole, and the hole through the side will accept a 3/8 bolt, and its main purpose is just to push on this and close up the groove a little bit, just to adjust it for different gauges of chain. Not sure how well it'll work, but we'll find out. Okay, this is what we're going to use for the grinder. This is a Canadian Tire angle grinder. I've seen it on sale at Canadian Tire last fall. It was on a frame. It's used as like a miniature chop saw. Well, as a chop saw, it would be about the most useless tool I think there is in existence, but to adapt for what I want it for, it's going to save me an awful lot of time. I've taken off the base and thrown all that away. I'm just going to use the grinder mount itself to mount to my frame. Well, again, I've gone ahead and done what needed to be done. It's a little mounting plate to mount the grinder to my frame. Done that on the drill press. And we'll see if it fits. We've got our little mounting plate welded to the frame. And we have our clamp made. Now we have to start putting things together. Shouldn't take much longer and we'll be finished with this. Other than some way to mount it to the bench or to the wall, my plan for right now is just to use the square tube to clamp it in the bench vise. But I may make a bracket to mount it to the wall or the bench someday. But that won't happen today. Well, we got the grinder and the clamp mounted. I've altered the plan slightly, and I welded the clamp right to the square tubing because it really doesn't have to move anyway. So I thought I'd cut corners and just weld it there solid. One less thing to deal with. But it's just about ready to go. I just got to make my screws for the gauge the depth and make a screw to well, I have the adjusting screws made and installed. I guess the project is complete. Other than to use it to grind a chain. I have to look around here and see if I can find an old one to try it on. I realize there's probably a lot of people going to see this and say, why the hell don't you just use a file? But I don't like using a file. I like things all to be perfectly even. And I don't sharpen chains in the bush anyway, so I just change my chains when they get dull in the bush, bring them home and sharpen them on the chainsaw grinder. Okay, we found an old chain and we'll give this thing a try. Don't know how well it'll work, but the chain that's in it is no good anyway. It's long wore out, so we'll see what happens. Seems to work out okay. Be a lot easier if I had both hands to work with. When I'm not using this camera, it'll, I'm sure, work a lot better. But that's the completed raker grinder project. I could have made the clamp on an angle and it would have actually sharpened chains if I'd have wanted to, but there's no need for that because I already have a grinder for doing that job. But just wanted something to keep the rakers all uniform. I don't like using a file. I guess I'm a little bit lazy, I don't know. But I love machinery. And that's my project for the day.